The silence surrounding Diddy's inner circle is exploding now that Cassie is testifying under oath. Diddy's inner circle includes A-list rappers, Grammy winners, multi-platinum singers, and actors you've seen on screen this week. Cassie didn't just hint, suggest, or imply. She laid out every name, every night, and every private event the world wasn't supposed to hear about. Cassie disclosed who Diddy had smashed, when it had occurred, and how the system as a whole had been set up to keep him safe. Court sources claim that this is not gossip, but rather courtroom testimony with confirmed timelines that match guest lists and supporting witnesses. More than 25 names on the list Cassie gave him were connected to Diddy through romantic, exploitative, or transactional interactions. While some of the names startled the courtroom, others did not. Even though there had been rumors of these connections for years, the judge asked Cassie to certify them under oath. In Miami and New York, she walked the court through private events. LA, even international travels in which the same celebrity group cycled through Diddy's inner circle. Among the verified names, Meek Mill, French Montana, and Usher Trey Songz. The Beau, an NFL player who is now retired, an Atlanta-based award-winning female R&B artist, a prominent pop producer who previously toured with Justin Bieber, and a reality show tycoon who is currently the subject of a federal investigation. And that's only a small portion of what has leaked thus far. Not only was Cassie a victim, but she was also a worker, a girlfriend, and, most dangerous of all, a witness. Although she assisted in planning the parties, she was not invited. Instead of being instructed to keep secrets, she was made to live with them. Cassie arranged for dozens of women to be transported to private after-deck sessions, according to court records. Some of the women believed they were trying out for brand collaborations, label deals, or music videos. Diddy would personally choose who stayed, who left, and who was unable to say no, Cassie disclosed. Celebrities were more than just spectators. They were actively participating, interacting, sharing rooms, exchanging numbers, and returning weekend after weekend. This was a rotation, not a one-time event. Cassie's allegations are supported by information from several whistleblowers, such as Roger Bonds and Gene Deal, and her list is consistent with their information. The Jaguar Wright and two unnamed assistants, who are currently protected by law, both attested to the existence of rosters, travel logs, and lockdown schedules for specific celebrities to visit Diddy's penthouses, retreats, and private estates. However, one of the most shocking moments in court occurred when Cassie's attorney produced a printed copy of what is known as Diddy's playlist, a spreadsheet that supposedly tracked 5 years' worth of guests, arranged by date, location, and who they were allegedly with, studio sessions that ended, and tour dates. Penthouse parties that never made the blogs but always had the same names in rotation were the result of that. Although the silence grew as the testimony did, there was a full-blown panic behind the scenes. Several of the celebrities Cassie mentioned started taking down posts that were connected to events hosted by Diddy. One actor removed more than 3 years' worth of Instagram posts the same night the leak surfaced after publicly thanking Diddy at an award show in 2020. According to insiders, a rapper abruptly canceled a podcast appearance, citing scheduling conflicts, but his legal team advised him to change his mind because of impending subpoenas. In addition to musicians, producers, stylists, and handlers, bodyguards also reportedly voluntarily contacted prosecutors. For what reason? Their faces appear on video, their names appear on guest lists, and Cassie's testimony included details about particular conversations, attire, flight manifests, and bedroom assignments because they were present. This was no unfounded charge. Cassie provided details. She told the story of a top charting rapper who flew into Miami with his stylist in July 2018, only to be sent to Diddy's yacht without his entourage. She showed the jury a January 2021 party in Los Angeles, where Diddy's personal assistant escorted a well-known R&B singer upstairs after Cassie was instructed to make her feel at ease. She even remembered staying in Diddy's penthouse with 3 male celebrities during a trip to Vegas. Cassie had to wake up the one who had overslept. She recalled his actions, his words, and his attire. Cassie's testimony set off a series of legal events. Now that 3 more women have come forward, they have all spoken about being flown in under false pretenses. One person thought she was signing an influencer contract, another thought she was appearing in a music video as an extra, and a third thought she was being interviewed to support a luxury brand. They didn't all go out the same. All of them reported seeing celebrities involved, and more unsettlingly, feeling as though everything was planned and orchestrated. 6 names that correspond to those in Cassie's account are allegedly included in one of the affidavits they have submitted. In the meantime, minutes after the list was leaked, 50 Cent set online fires He posted a carousel of blurry screenshots from the court transcript to Instagram with the caption, "Diddy smashed everybody and now everybody's lawyered up." 50 pixelated screen grabs from previous parties with red circles around some faces were uploaded by him. A Grammy-winning singer from Atlanta was featured in one picture with the caption, "She was there, why?" Then, like 50, he released a teaser trailer. In the latest trailer for his Netflix documentary series, there are silhouettes walking into an opulent penthouse, a voiceover stating that they were aware of what was happening, and a still image of a blurry guest list with a single highlighted word. After Cassie's testimony, it was confirmed that the industry didn't just flinch, but rather began to fall apart. Whispers within the company escalated into emergency meetings, phones, and quick PR damage control. Without making a statement or offering an explanation, a luxury brand that had subtly collaborated with one of Diddy's major events abruptly withdrew their support for him from their press kits. A significant music festival removed him from archives that had not been accessed for more than 10 years, updated its website, and removed all historical branding associated with his name. Deliberate but quiet, the change was more drastic inside labeled headquarters. CEOs who had previously worked with Diddy's event planning teams were abruptly placed on leave. They did not clear calendars, freeze deals, or suspend sponsorships out of guilt, but rather out of fear that the system they had helped create was now becoming radioactive. Because this was not a case of one man acting carelessly behind closed doors, but rather of structural planning and coordination. Like clockwork, there were assistants setting up flights and PR representatives overseeing optics handlers who moved guests from hotel lobbies to penthouse elevators. The entire network is now being targeted by prosecutors after corporate-level silence protected criminal-level actions. Insiders say that legal teams have begun preparing for a much more comprehensive outcome, where the charges shift from assault and trafficking to RICO conspiracy enterprise corruption. This is because if enough people help plan, protect, or profit from the operation, Cassie revealed that it wasn't just about Diddy, but also about the structure that allowed it to flourish, and that closed courtroom with no cameras, no audio, and no leaks is where it all began. When the time came, the prosecutor turned the tables and asked Cassie a question that made the air stop. Were there any names of people involved that the public would find shocking? She remained motionless. She claimed that some of them are artists who are regarded as legends, while others are individuals I once admired. In that sealed room where every word becomes part of the federal record, the weight of that response spoke louder than any headline, so she didn't need to say anything more, including names. What happened next was methodical. The judge received a hard copy of the list in private, and it was sealed and entered into the record. It was very quiet in the gallery. There is no video from that time because phones and cameras are strictly prohibited in federal court, but someone inside the gallery leaked a blurry image of the document being walked out. Other reporters claimed that you could hear the judge's pen tapping against the table. The entire list was hidden from view, but one name was faintly visible beneath the folder's corner, and people have been speculating about who it might be ever since. However, the repercussions are already present even without that picture. PR teams are removing mentions from platforms, influencers are abandoning projects, and label artists are keeping quiet. The foundation of a system that has shielded him and others for decades is being broken by Cassie, because she didn't just slander one man, and this isn't even close to being finished. The first domino was Cassie's testimony. More are anticipated, including some from well-known individuals and others from those who worked in the background and witnessed too much for too long. There are more and more sealed documents on the list. The public is finally making the connection between the erasers, the silence, and the abrupt digital disappearances, and subpoenas are becoming more common. Therefore, the real question is not whether this happened, but rather who allowed him to get away with it for so long and how far they will go to avoid being mentioned in the future. This story won't end with Diddy. If what we're hearing is accurate, it's going to drag the entire damn industry. Please subscribe and leave a comment below with who you believe was on that sealed list.